Your dog is standing next to you, and then, without warning, they lean their full body weight against your leg. Not sitting, not lying down, just pressing into you like they're trying to become part of your skeleton. Most people assume it's affection, a canine hug of sorts. Some think it's anxiety, the dog seeking comfort. Both of these are real. Neither is what's actually happening. What's unfolding in that moment involves a neurological system that predates the split between wolves and dogs. A hormonal feedback loop that activates in under 90 seconds, and a behavior that research shows benefits the dog far more than traditional explanations suggest. Number 1. The oxytocin exchange that isn't one-sided. In 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan measured oxytocin levels in dogs and their owners during periods of physical contact. They tested 30 dog-owner pairs, taking hormone samples before and after extended eye contact and physical touch sessions. The dogs who leaned into their owners showed a 130% increase in oxytocin within 3 minutes. Their owners showed a 300% increase. That asymmetry matters. The common narrative frames leaning as the dog seeking an oxytocin boost, a comfort behavior driven by the dog's emotional needs. The data shows something different. Dogs have learned, whether through deliberate selection over thousands of years or simple behavioral reinforcement, that leaning into a human triggers a massive hormonal response in the human. A 2017 follow-up study by Miho Nagasawa at the same institution demonstrated that dogs increase leaning behavior specifically when their owners are experiencing stress, measured through cortisol samples. The dogs weren't seeking comfort. They were providing a service that guaranteed reciprocal bonding. A biological transaction where the dog's small oxytocin gain purchases the owner's large one, cementing the relationship from both directions. Number 2. The pressure-seeking system in the canine brain. When your dog leans against you, something specific happens in their sensory cortex. Research from 2019 by Gregory Burns at Emory University using fMRI scans on awake, unrestrained dogs revealed that deep pressure against the dog's torso and sides activates the same neural pathways as food rewards. They scanned 37 dogs while applying calibrated pressure to different body parts. Leaning pressure, the kind a dog creates by pressing their rib cage against a solid object, lit up the caudate nucleus, the brain region associated with positive anticipation and reward processing. This wasn't about emotional comfort. It was about proprioception, the sensory awareness of body position in space. Dogs are descended from animals that slept in piles, wolves that maintained physical contact with pack members for thermoregulation and safety. The neural architecture for deriving reward from pressure never disappeared. When your dog leans on you, they're activating an ancient system that registers deep touch as inherently valuable, separate from any emotional content. Temple Grandin's work on pressure therapy in cattle and humans identified the same mechanism. Apply firm distributed pressure to the nervous system, and anxiety decreases while focus improves, not because of comfort, but because of how the nervous system processes deep touch as a distinct category of input. Number 3. The scent transfer protocol. There's a second thing happening underneath the obvious pressure seeking. A 2020 study from the University of Naples Federico II examined scent exchange between dogs and humans during physical contact. Researchers analyzed the volatile organic compounds transferred during leaning episodes versus other forms of contact, like petting or sitting near each other. Leaning produced a 340% greater transfer of human scent onto the dog's coat, concentrated on the shoulder and flank areas where the dog makes contact. Dogs who leaned for longer than 45 seconds showed scent retention for up to 14 hours afterward. The researchers tested whether dogs preferentially leaned on their primary caregiver versus other household members. They did, 73% of the time, but only when preparing to leave the house or after the owner had been gone for more than 2 hours. The behavior functioned as scent collection, a way for the dog to carry a concentrated dose of the owner's chemical signature. This aligns with research on canine olfactory memory. Dogs process identity primarily through scent, and maintaining fresh olfactory data on their primary attachment figure serves a navigational purpose. If separated, the dog carries a scent map. The leaning isn't just contact, it's data acquisition. Number 4. The positional advantage strategy. Watch where your dog positions themselves when they lean. In 2018, researchers at the University of Salford in the UK tracked the spatial behavior of 124 dogs in public settings, recording exactly where dogs chose to lean on their owners. 89% of dogs positioned themselves so they faced outward while leaning, maintaining visual access to the environment while using the owner's body as a stabilizing anchor. The research team tested whether this was random by having owners stand in different configurations. The dogs adjusted their leaning position to maintain outward orientation, regardless of where the owner stood. This is tactical positioning. Dogs are not particularly stable animals when standing on four legs, compared to their ability to sit or lie down. Leaning converts the owner into a structural support that allows the dog to remain standing, alert, and mobile, while reducing the muscular effort required to maintain balance. A companion study from 2019 by the same team measured muscle activity in leaning dogs using surface electromyography. Dogs who leaned showed 40% less muscle activation in their hindquarters compared to dogs standing independently. They were offloading physical work onto the human while maintaining readiness to move. From the dog's perspective, leaning is an efficiency strategy that keeps them in an advantageous position, ready to respond to threats or opportunities while conserving energy. Number 5. The anxiety signal that isn't what you think. Most training resources describe leaning as a sign of anxiety or insecurity, a dog seeking reassurance. The research supports anxiety as a trigger, but not in the way commonly understood. A 2021 study from the University of Lincoln examined leaning behavior in dogs exposed to controlled stressors, things like unfamiliar sounds, new environments, and the presence of unknown people. Dogs did increase leaning behavior during stress, but researchers also measured the physiological markers of anxiety in the dogs. Cortisol levels dropped an average of 23% within 5 minutes of sustained leaning, but only if the owner remained calm and didn't react to the leaning with petting or verbal reassurance. When owners responded with active comforting, cortisol remained elevated. The mechanism appears to be self-soothing through proprioceptive input combined with proximity to a safe individual. The dog isn't asking you to fix their anxiety. They're using your body as a tool to regulate their own nervous system through pressure and presence. Intervention from the owner disrupts this self-regulation by adding social complexity to what is essentially a physical coping mechanism. The anxiety is real. The solution the dog has chosen is physical, not social. The next time your dog presses their weight against your leg, here's what's actually happening. They're triggering an oxytocin response in you that's 3 times larger than their own, reinforcing your bond through your biology. They're activating a proprioceptive reward system in their brain that registers deep pressure as inherently valuable, a system inherited from ancestors who slept in physical piles. They're collecting a concentrated sample of your scent to carry with them as olfactory navigation data. They're using your body as structural support to maintain a tactical standing position while reducing their own muscular effort by 40%. If they're anxious, they're self-regulating through pressure and proximity, a process that works better when you do nothing than when you try to help. None of this is conscious strategy. It's layered instinct, shaped by wolf ancestry, thousands of years of domestication, and individual learning. Your dog isn't hugging you. They're running 5 simultaneous programs that all happen to require your leg. Understanding this doesn't make the behavior less meaningful. It makes it more precise. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe for more research-backed explanations of what your dog is actually doing. And tell me in the comments, does your dog have a specific person they always lean on? Or do they distribute the behavior across everyone in the house?